Well, not from the top down, although although I think that the Japanese people tend to be very patient people, and they resign themselves to what has happened to them over the past 20 years, which is economic stagnation and benign deflation, which is the price they paid for the fact that their boom in the late 80s, which was both a real estate boom and the stock market boom. Indeed, from a stock market standpoint, I think the Tokyo stock market in the late 80s was the only stock market, in my experience, which goes back 50 years, only stock market where I thought if I looked at 10 or 15 or 20 stocks, I would not end up buying one. Usually, I've always found investment opportunities in practically any equity market, except the Tokyo stock market in the late 80s. And indeed, I think the success one sometimes has as an investor is sometimes due to what one does not own. And in mid-1988, I sold our last Japanese stock, which proved to be 18 months and 30% too soon. The Tokyo stock market managed to go up another 30% after I sold our last Japanese stock. And so at the end of 1989, but that was already true in mid-88, the Tokyo stock market was overvalued in a gigantic way. And same with the real estate market, since the time came in the late 80s when the supposed value of the imperial palace and gardens, which admittedly is quite a few acres right in the middle of Tokyo, but we're talking about a relatively small space, was supposed to be worth more than the entire real estate in California. It was a gigantic boom. And American economists make fun of the Japanese, saying, look, at the past 20 years, I mean, it was economic stagnation. The real question to my mind is, was that an excessive price to pay for the fact that they had had a gigantic boom that turned into a bust? But the natives are getting restless since there has been 6 prime ministers in Japan over the past 5 years. They changed prime ministers now more than once a year. And I think the only way out for Japan may be for them to inflate. So, but it may or may not happen. But what we have continued to see is the fact that from the bottom up, there are in Japan some truly world-class businesses, which sell at very reasonable valuations because of the top-down risk associated with Japan in the minds of investors.